Hi everyone, it's Shannon with Apex Tarot Pure Spirit, and I hope that you're doing absolutely fantastic. This is just a quick chit chat. I'll be back on in just a minute to do a second reading, which would actually probably be my fourth, my fourth reading for the day. My first three readings, the third set got the third reading. The third time around got uploaded, and it's just one of those days. I want to chit chat with you for a second. I know that there have been some really tough energies coming across for you and I to deal with, and it kind of is, I don't want to call it a bummer, but yet it is. Obviously, if the divine wants to bring a word out for you and I to take a look at, like I stated on the daily reading, that I wasn't going to be able to get away with what was coming out on the reading itself, because it came out on all three of my readings that I tried to delete, and the divine said, nope, nope. So I just want to, not apologize, but to also yet apologize, if that makes any sense at all. I hate to have to be, don't kill the messenger type of a person, but at the same time, this benefits us for us to look at some really hard, secretive energies where people, or you and people know that I have been taken advantage of by even people in high authority and have abused their authority. Okay, we got writings that state, and I brought out on my channel, that we've got writings, sorry, I don't mean to use y'all as my mirror, but we got writings that state that the whole head is sick. Because people's heads are sick, for one thing. And the divine's been really teaching us about karmics and true people are supposed to be in your life. And those karmics are the ones who will lie, cheat, and steal and deceive you. They're carbon copies that need to be out of the earth. And what they've done is they have lied on the true people that are not carbon copies by way of the spirit that have an understanding of truth. Those people are the blessed people in the earth. And if you've gotten caught up with karmics, because we all have. Every one of us have been asleep. Sometime of our life have come awake. We're in the resurrection and awakening of things right now. Okay? And every one of us has been involved with a karmic. And that's part of our lesson as well from past life stuff. One of the words that came up today in the reading was nod, was found in that section. If you go back and read in Genesis, in the land of Nod, where Cain met his wife. And that's really deep stuff. I'm not going to go into it on this video. But this stuff is that deep in history, subconsciously. I've gotten on here before and talked about the subconscious mind and the psychology of our mind and how we come from the heavens and what's really taking place, the generations of the heavens that that Genesis speaks to us about. And people have been asleep with some things, and just kind of because of these karmics that have been in the land also try to pull one over on you and I. We're told that we're destroyed for lack of knowledge. He said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Do you understand that? The divine said his people were destroyed for lack of it. Because we're compared like sheep, and sheep are dumb. And you got to wake up now and not be dumb, and listen to your intuition on the inside. Stop nodding your head. The word the other direction, or maybe it was still in the same direction in the same section, I can't remember now, but was a judge. And putting a judgment on something. And we are in the judgment 2020 amplified here, to have precise vision from a really high place, but not like the serpent wants to raise its head, like the ship, right, was the word in the Hebrew for the wicked. The snake in the basket is today's vibration of the 9, but actually with that 9 comes a judgment with it. So you prove who you are. You're the snake in the basket, talks out both sides of the mouth, and prove that you are a karmic, Or you can put a judgment on the karmic energy. You can either be one or the other. Okay? And so, anyway, I just really wanted to get on here and encourage you all to continue to listen to what the divine is bringing forth on this channel for you and I. And don't get discouraged. We all have inner hurts that need to come up for us to transmute and have understanding. No matter how hard it is to look at, it's got to be taken care of. Just like, I don't know, maybe somebody, you know, for an example, somebody getting in some type of really bad accident and there's blood everywhere, but it's just, you got to get in there and help. That's what's going on right now. You know, if you're new to this channel, I'm not just any kind of regular tarot channel. And I love all that mushy-gushy stuff. I love it. And if you're looking for that kind of stuff, sometimes it'll come across my channel. But the divine on this channel is more in tune with, let's clean the land up from this wickedness. Okay, let's get rid of these people that are, they're either not karmics and need to awaken to find out who they are, or they really are the karmic energies out there, okay? And people who just can't get it, have sold theirs, because we all already have people that have literally sold their soul off. They're gone. We have writings stating that they won't repent for their murderous acts and their robbing. The boar came out today on the word, a raw boar reading it into themselves. We're right here in prophecy. Okay, the 12th house is also about prophecy. So you either a son and a daughter prophesying a thing, or you're on the opposite side of that. You're really dangerous, deceptive, illusional things, okay? With Neptune, because there's confusion there, and God's not a God of confusion. You either seeing something for what it is, and you're going to point your finger and say, yeah, I either got caught up in something, or yeah, that happened to me, and it's really painful, but I'd rather heal and go through the process and then teach from that place. Or you're just, you don't care, you're part of that, and you're too shattered and gone, and that's sad. Because some people just can't look at something. It's just too hard for them, and then they make their choice to go down that road and not be healed, but be sealed in wickedness. They get to be outside of the door. We had the door today, like I stated, and they're going to be gnashing of teeth out there, okay, where the wild is, because they're wild, okay? They can't come awake. They choose not to. They're just drowsy. They're in the semi-conscious state of halfway awake, halfway not. Sometimes I'll look at something, sometimes I won't. You gotta look at things for what it is, baby. Okay? Prove who you are today. Somebody come along and you try to wake them up or do something by way of what the Spirit leads you to do. And they want to just point their finger and be whatever, however they are. You turn away and you walk and you shake the dust off, okay? The snake will eat them. They get thrown in that pile, okay? And like I said, some people have been led to places stating by way of their lies that they were those type of people. I'm one of those that got lied on, okay? At the same time, the divine had way back in 2010 showed me I'd be here for such a time as this, to come right down to the pit itself for deliverance sake, because there are a lot of people that have had lies and deception on them by way of a karmic trying to set them up, and they still remain, and they're still standing even in the midst of these snakish people, because they are the true people that the divine took right down into prison itself to teach, or you can say to preach the gospel, good news, that look, if you're full of the truth, we're going to come up against this wicked one, we're going to win it, and we're going to snap the head of those reptilious, wicked, boorish type people. They lose. They already lost. Okay, they only think of it as a game, but game over has already taken place a long time. If you really got the true Christ within you, it's over. It was finished a long time ago. But you know, you are destroyed for your lack of knowledge of that. if you don't have understanding of what's really going on. So please don't check yourself out of this channel, because sometimes it just comes across just so straightforward. It has to be right now. It has to be. It's judgment time. The divine said, I love judgment, and I'm not going to stop until there is righteousness be filled in the earth. That's what he said. Do not stop until uprightness be filled in the earth. Truth. Some people don't like truth. They'll fight for a lie. And you got people who fight for truth, like I said the last couple of days in my video. I also brought out something that really hit my spirit about the truth that I was reading in one of my studies, and I brought it out on my channel because it was just like, oh my God, that's so liberating to understand that we don't just take our sword just everywhere. And the statement is that you and I don't pull out that sword to just be, you go fight by the sword, you're going to die by the sword then. If they start it, fight, you do it with a cause. And we don't return it without honor, because we did it in truth and for that cause of truth. And truth alone, that's it. That's the only reason why we pull that thing out. Only by way of the direction of the Spirit saying, attack that thing right here, right now. And it's an energy. We're not really fighting against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers of the air and airways and gateways. It's spiritual, but it's also playing right out here in people's, they're infiltrated with demonic dark energies, calling things into them because they're already gone. They're gone. They're seared. They got the mark of the beast upon. The beast. What's the beast? The beast is the snake in the basket, and it wants to raise its head, but you and I are higher than that snake in the basket by way of wisdom from above that is true, not sensual. They want sensual stuff. We're to be wise like the serpent, but gentle, not the serpent. We get this. Look, we got the authority to squish their eyeballs out with our heel. They want to heal our heel. When you have knowledge and understanding, you could step on it. Okay, we're right here in that time frame of prophecy right now. Okay, it's stated in the Greek writings in Revelation that when the Christ came back, he'd have blood all over him by way of the war itself. We're in a war, but it's almost over. We're going to have a big banquet soon because the divine keeps bringing it out. But the judge is here, and he's judging, and he's clearing the land. So I just want to encourage you today that the words that come out on my table are from the great divine. They're not my words. My hands are yielded to the divine. My vocal cords are yielded to the divine. Okay? I don't ever want to come in and do a self-prophecy that's dangerous. And if you are of truth, you'll just yield yourself to the divine of truth, and he'll lift you up where you need to be. And teach your hands how to war, and give you words to say in the moment when you need to know, when you're brought up against people, okay, or feel like you're back against the wall, even when you stand before the council. He said, don't think about what you're going to say. I'll fill that mouth with the word. Okay? So, anyway, this is what I wanted to hop in here for and talk about. I will be coming right back to do another reading that will be found in the description box below of this video eventually. So if it's not there now, it will be eventually later for you to take a look at the second reading for today's date, and the first reading will also be there along with the 48-hour readings and the 72-hour readings that I worked on yesterday, which was the 10th. All right. Happy birthday, happy anniversary to all of you who all are celebrating today. Go forth in your truth and be made whole by the way of truth and understanding, and don't be duped by the karmics. Shalom.